the most dangerous lie you were taught about family loyalty. Welcome to the Soft Girl Era podcast, the sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. And I am your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Today, I want to share something with you that came from a conversation I had recently with Lashonda Ames, a woman whose courage is reshaping what it means to break generational curses while building generational wealth. Lashonda is not just surviving her story, she is rewriting the ending for her children, her community, and every Black woman who has ever been told that protecting your peace makes you the villain. Her insights are going to challenge everything you thought you knew about family, loyalty, strength, and what it really means to honor the people who raised you. And I believe her journey is going to shake you, heal you, and maybe, just maybe, set you free. Let me start with a question that might make you uncomfortable. How many of you were taught that being strong means absorbing harm? That keeping the family together, no matter the cost, is the highest form of love? That setting a boundary with a parent, especially your mother, is disrespectful, ungrateful, or even sinful? Yeah, I see you. I feel you. Because that's the script so many of us, especially Black women, were handed. Be the strong one. Hold it down, keep the peace, sacrifice yourself, and whatever you do, don't you dare let anyone think you've turned your back on family. But here's what Lashonda taught me and what I need you to hear today. Honoring a parent and letting them go can both be acts of love and self preservation, and both are fully aligned with softness as power, not weakness. Let me say that again slower this time because I need you to really feel it. Honoring a parent and then letting them go can both be acts of love and self preservation, and both are fully aligned with softness as power, not weakness. That right there, that's the heart of what we're unpacking today. Because Lashonda's story is not just about one woman's decision to protect her peace, it's about all of us who have been carrying roles, blame, and burdens that were never ours to carry in the first place. It's about the weight we've been told is love, when really it's been slowly crushing us. LaShonda told me that her entire life, her mother made her the black sheep of the family. Everything that went wrong was somehow her fault. And when her mother's role shifted and LaShonda became the parent of her siblings at just 13 years old, her mother left, just left, walked away. And when she came back years later, as LaShonda was building her own life, her own marriage, her own family, her mother was stuck in the mindset that LaShonda was still that teenager, still the one to blame, still the one who owed her something, still the scapegoat. Her mother tried to ruin her marriage. She disrupted her relationship with her siblings, and she refused, absolutely refused, to talk about her absence or take any accountability. She just kept blaming LaShonda, kept pointing the finger, kept making LaShonda responsible for wounds she did not create. And LaShonda, she stayed. She took her mother in during hard times, not once, not twice, four times. Four times she opened her door, her home, her heart, hoping that maybe this time things would be different, hoping that maybe this time her mother would see her, really acknowledge her, really love her without conditions. But it didn't happen. And eventually, LaShonda had to make a choice that so many of us are terrified to make. She had to say, enough is enough. She had to honor her mother, but let her go. Now, I want you to sit with that for a moment. Honor her, but let her go, because that's not abandonment. That's not cruelty. That's not even anger, that's wisdom, that's self preservation. That's choosing peace over proximity. And that, my friends, is the most radical soft girl era move you can make. Because here's what we've been taught that softness is passive, that softness is indulgent, that softness means you let people walk all over you and you smile while they do it. But that's not softness. That's self erasure. And there is nothing soft, nothing sacred, nothing powerful about erasing yourself to make someone else comfortable. There's nothing holy about setting yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. The soft girl era for Black professionals, for Black women, for those of us who have spent our entire lives being the strong one, is about strategic softness. It's about choosing rest, boundaries, emotional honesty, and self protection as intentional tools for sustainable success and generational healing. It's about refusing to grind yourself into the ground or stay in cycles of harm in the name of strength. It's about understanding that real strength is knowing when to walk away. So let me be clear. You can honor where you come from and still refuse to carry what breaks you. Softness is not avoidance, it's a conscious decision to protect your future, your family, and your calling. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but LeAnne, how do I do that? How do I honor my mother, my father, my family, and still set boundaries? How do I love them and still protect my peace? How do I stop feeling guilty for choosing myself? Let me share 3 insights from my conversation with Lashonda that I want you to hold on to like your life depends on it, because honestly, it might. First, you are allowed to honor family and still set non negotiable boundaries. For so many Black professionals, especially Black women, the script has been keep the peace, even if it costs you yourself, even if it destroys your marriage, even if it steals your joy, even if it breaks you down piece by piece. But Lashonda's story shows us another path. She continued to acknowledge her mother as her mother. She didn't erase her, she didn't pretend she didn't exist, but she clearly said, "You cannot have unchecked access to my marriage, my home, or my healing if you're going to harm them." That is not disrespect. That is emotional maturity. That is self preservation. That is love in its truest, most protective form. And here's what I need you to understand: in your leadership, in your business, in your personal life, love and boundaries are not opposites, they are partners. You can care deeply and still say, "This stops here," especially when generational patterns threaten your mental health, your relationships, or your calling, especially when the cost of staying is higher than the cost of leaving. Second, being the strong one in your family is not your lifelong job description. Lashonda was pushed into parenting her siblings at 13. 13. She carried adult responsibilities while still a child. She became the fixer, the manager, the emotional caretaker, the one everyone leaned on. And that early strong one role became an identity. It became who she was: the fixer, the caretaker, the one who absorbs blame, the one who never complains, the one who never breaks. But in her soft girl era, she consciously stepped out of that identity. She stopped managing everyone else's emotions and crises and started managing and honoring her own. She stopped being responsible for everyone else's healing and started being responsible for her own. And I want you to hear this: you can retire from roles you were never meant to hold forever. That includes over functioning at work, constantly rescuing clients or team members, or being emotionally responsible for everyone around you. Stepping out of constant manager mode is not failure, it is growth, it is freedom, it is the beginning of your real life. Third, Breaking generational patterns is hard, but it is possible and it brings peace. Lashonda is raising her children while actively trying to break the cycle that marked her own childhood. Abandonment, blame, emotional chaos. She told me raising my children and trying to break the curse is hard, but I'm managing. And then she said something that stopped me in my tracks. Once I was done managing, I overcame, and I'm at peace in my authentic self. That is the heart of the soft girl era. Choosing inner alignment over performance, even when it means redesigning family dynamics from scratch, even when it means being misunderstood, even when it means being called selfish. And here's what I want you to know: in business and in life, the courage to do things differently than your family did, to rest, to heal, to choose healthy love, can be the foundation of generational wealth and emotional legacy. Softness is not a phase, it is a long term strategy for sustainable success and healing. Now, I want to bring in some real world examples of Black women leaders who have walked this same path because Lashonda's story is not unique. It's part of a larger movement of Black women who are choosing healing, boundaries, and softness as their new standard. Women who are refusing to be martyrs and choosing instead to be whole. Let me tell you about Dr. Thema Bryant. She's a Black woman psychologist, ordained minister, and current president of the American Psychological Association. Dr. Bryant has publicly shared her experiences of trauma, displacement, and complex family and social dynamics. Her family left Liberia during Civil War, and she grew up carrying the weight of survival and expectations around strength and resilience, the weight of being the one who made it out, the weight of representing everyone who didn't. But she chose to pursue advanced training in psychology with a focus on trauma and culturally responsive therapy. She integrated spirituality, storytelling, and cultural wisdom into her work, giving people language to honor their parents and communities while setting boundaries. She constantly advocates for rest, emotional processing, and self compassion as essential practices, not luxuries for Black women. Her leadership has helped normalize conversations about trauma, family pain, and boundaries in Black communities. She shows us that you can honor your upbringing, your culture, and your elders while still refusing to repeat harmful patterns in your own life and leadership. Then there's Dr. Joy Harden Bradford, founder of Therapy for Black Girls. Dr. Joy recognized that Black women often carry heavy family burdens, caregiving, conflict resolution, emotional labor, while having limited access to culturally competent mental health support. So she created a podcast and digital platform that normalizes therapy conversations for Black women, including discussions about family trauma, parent child dynamics, and setting boundaries. She developed a nationwide directory of Black women therapists, making it easier for listeners to seek professional support. And she constantly reinforces that rest, emotional insight, and boundary setting are powerful strategies, not signs of failure. Therapy for Black Girls has become one of the most recognizable mental health brands for Black women, with millions of podcast downloads and a large online community. Dr. Joy's work helps Black women answer questions like: how do I love my family and still protect my peace? And what does it look like to stop managing everyone's emotions and start caring for my own? That's exactly the journey Lashonda described. That's the journey so many of us are on right now. And finally, let me tell you about Cynthia Marshall, the first Black woman CEO in the NBA, leading the Dallas Mavericks. Cint Marshall survived an abusive household where her father shot her mother when she was 11. She has spoken openly about the emotional and psychological impact of that trauma. But she committed early to education, faith, and emotional resilience, refusing to let her childhood define her limits. She developed a leadership style that blends compassion, clear boundaries, and zero tolerance for harmful behavior at home and at work. As CEO, she implemented a comprehensive culture transformation plan that focused on values, accountability, and care for people. She successfully shifted the Mavericks' organizational culture and became a widely recognized example of how a Black woman can lead with both strength and warmth, refusing to normalize abuse or dysfunction. Her story speaks directly to what we're talking about today. You can come from chaos and still choose peace. You can experience harm and later become the one who says, "This stops here." You can rewrite the ending. These women, Dr. Thema Bryant, Dr. Joy Harden Bradford, Cynthia Marshall, and Lashonda Ames, are all showing us the same truth. Softness, boundaries, and healing are not a betrayal of family. They are a pathway to powerful, sustainable leadership. They are the foundation of a life worth living. So here's what I want to leave you with today. This is not just a conversation, this is a confrontation. A confrontation with the lies you've been told about loyalty, about strength, about love. Where in your life are you still carrying a role, a blame, or a burden that was put on you when you were younger? What are you still holding that's breaking you? And what would it look like right now, today, to lovingly, powerfully, unapologetically lay it down? I want you to do something radical this week. Choose one boundary, one act of softness, one moment where you protect your peace instead of performing for everyone else. Maybe it's a conversation you will no longer entertain. Maybe it's a responsibility you will no longer silently shoulder. Maybe it's a moment of rest you will no longer feel guilty for. Maybe it's finally saying no and meaning it. Because here's the truth: your healing is not selfish, your boundaries are not betrayal, your softness is not weakness, and your peace is not negotiable. Honor your past, learn from it, respect it, but stop building your future around a version of you that no longer exists. Stop sacrificing the woman you're becoming for the girl you used to be. The soft girl era is not about being weak, it's about being wise. It's about choosing peace over proximity. It's about honoring where you come from and still refusing to carry what breaks you. It's about finally choosing yourself. So I'm asking you today, will you choose you? Will you lay down the cape? Will you step into your soft girl era, not as an escape, but as an arrival? Will you honor your story, but refuse to let it write your ending? Because the world needs you whole. Your children need you whole. Your business needs you whole. And you deserve to be whole. This is your permission slip. This is your invitation. This is your moment. Choose softness, choose boundaries, choose peace, choose you.